the ending of the horror story of foreigners who built a house of their partners here in the Philippines. So let's watch this video, but before that, welcome to my channel, and for today we are going to talk about these topics and about the land ownership, and then if you can own a land here in the Philippines, so that it will going to end the horror story that you are facing, or some of the other foreigners that might jump into that kind of business thing. So I hope you guys will going to subscribe to my channel first and double tap the screen, and of course hit the notification bell to be notified when I upload a next video. I have here the list of how foreigner can own something, properties in the Philippines, and what are things that you cannot own here also in the Philippines. But this is based on my research, so it is proven, okay? This is by the laws as well in the Philippines. So ownership of land. Foreigners cannot directly own land in the Philippines, but they can acquire land through certain legal structures. First, by inheritance. If foreigner inherits land from a Filipino relative, they may be allowed to own it. Yeah. So, by next is by corporations. A foreigner can own land through corporation. The first, by inheritance, is not very much common to foreigners that they got inheritance from the Filipino people, but most of the people that are facing right now, it's by corporation. So a lot of people ask me through social media, since I do live stream a lot, and then they commented this, and can I own at least a corporation? Yes, of course you can own, but at least 60% of the corporation must be owned of Filipinos. The 40% you can own, a foreigner can own 40% as a corporations. So that's only 40%, not exceeded to 60%, okay? This means at least 60% corporation must be owned by Filipino citizen, not foreigners, as I said. The second one is the ownership of condominium units. I know nowadays that there's a lot of foreigners came here in the Philippines and acquire some condominium units, because a lot of people said that yes, condominium is you can own a condominium here in the Philippines. Okay. So foreigners can own condominium units in the Philippines, provided that foreign ownership in the building does not exceeded to 40% of the total units. This is none of the most common ways foreigners buy property in the Philippines. So you have actually the high chances that you can own the land. You can own the condominium units here in the Philippines. Okay? So leasing the land. Foreigners can lease the land because you cannot own the land here in the Philippines. You cannot. That's the reason why some foreigners, they lease land. Okay, for up to 50 years. You can lease the land for up to 50 years only, with an option to renew for an additional 25 years. So the other people use this when they are having a Filipino partner and they want to build a home for them. They do this. They used to lease lands. It's because this is something that it might going to give them some hopes that that Filipina doesn't scam them into building their homes, but instead, like, you can just list a land through legal support by attorneys. Go to some attorneys and try to do some notarizations in there, that it means that it's legal, and that's mean that you are leasing the land, so that there is no gonna be horror story for you. Okay. This allows actually for foreigners to use land for business or residential. Like as I said, if you can use it for like businesses purposes, but you can use also for building a home for the both of you, you and your wife. Because even though you are married to a Filipina, you still cannot own the land. You cannot still own. on it. Okay, other legal considerations. Foreigner interested in owning property through a corporation must ask for or work with legal, because if you're going to do it with illegal something, then it's not going to be the fault for the Filipina. It's your fault because you didn't work to it as in legal. Okay, and then go to some advisors as well. Advisors before jumping into a decision making, because I know there are some foreigners that falls into it, like they build a house for their Filipino partner, it turns out the relationship doesn't work, and then you're complaining over through social media in regards with this. But in the first place, you can just make it as legal that in the after the separation, she cannot have it, she cannot have the land or properties that you bought, because there is a legal to it. It's legal, there is a paper to it. Yeah. Okay, next is property ownership and control. Legal ownership in the Philippines, property in your partner's name will legally belong to her. Okay, legally belong to her. So, if you're going to, invest a house for her or for her family, so it's going to be the name of her, either family or for her. So, regardless of whether you contributed funds to build the house, you are still nothing in the end of the day if you are going to do it without leasing the land. Okay. If the property is solely in her name, she has a full ownership rights. Fully ownership. She own it even though you give funds. Okay. Which means you would have no legal claim to the house even if you invested a significant amount of money or effort into building it. Next is lack of control. Since your name won't be on title, you will not have control over the property. She only have the control of the property. Okay, this is gonna be the going to happen to you if you are not going to consult it with the lawyer or any advisor in regards with the properties in the Philippines. Yes. Okay, risk in case of separation. So that's what I said earlier. If you don't have a legal name to it, if you don't lease the land for it, you don't have any rights after the separation, and it's going to be risky for you. You're gonna end up nothing, right? Because she only have the rights to it. Separation or divorce, if you and your Filipino partner separate or break up, the property being in her name remains legally hers, according to the papers. So papers are more important. There is gonna be notarizations and everything, and then it's under her name, so you don't have any claims to it. Even if you contributed substantially to building the house, you would have no legal claim. Okay, with a formal agreement without a legal contract. So here, even though you do a verbally agreement, but there is no other people that will going to stand by your side, that it means that you are the one who built that one. Since it's under her name, it goes to her, because you don't have any legal papers onto it. Complicated legal process. If there is no agreement and if you decide to pursue any financial claims or compensation, this can become a complicated and costly legal battle. So, that's the reason why there are some foreigners that they are not just, okay, I'm just gonna give it to you because, you don't want to pay a lot for the legal battle. And then you don't have any claims as well because you don't have rights, because there is no papers agreement between the two of you, as I said, like the contract at least. Okay, inheritance and family disputes. Inheritance is issues. If your partner were to pass away, everyone, you still can own it? Well, definitely not. Her family can have the house or the properties that you invested. Okay. And there is no legal documentation protecting your interests, such as a will or deed of donation. The property would pass according to Philippine inheritance laws. So, her family members, such as parents or siblings, might have claim to the property even if you have contributed financially. Okay, potential family conflicts. In the Philippines, family can play a significant role in the property decisions. So that's the reason why there's a lot also of Filipinos are fighting over the properties. That's most of the common problems also that some Filipinos are facing. So that's the reason, yeah, if you bought properties, you need to go at least under your name or, yeah, something like that. So, because it's gonna be a complicated for you. I'm sorry. Number 4 is no legal protection for your investment. No legal protection. Without leasing agreement, a co-ownership contracts, or similar legal document, you have no formal protection for the money or effort that you put into building the house. If there are any dispute, you would have no legal grounds to claim back any of your investment or assert any rights to the property. So, the lack of formal documentation may lead to complications if you need to prove your financial contribution or stake in the property. So, much better, as I said, much better you lease and there is a contract, paper contract, not just a verbal agreement. Okay. Possible, you can add also the verbal agreement. You should save it through your phone, right? Okay. Possible financial and tax complications or implications. If you are contributing significant amounts for money to build the house and it's your partner's name, tax authorities might scrutinize the situation, especially if the funding source aren't properly documented. This could lead to legal issues regarding taxes, potential financial penalties. Okay. Lack of legal documentation, ha? Without a formal lease or agreement, there could be complication with the local government or tax authorities if your financial contribution isn't properly recorded. Okay, number 6 is difficulties in case of future sale or transfer. So if you and your partner decided to sell it, if you want to sell it or transfer the property later, the fact that it's solely in your partner's name might cause problems if you don't have a clear legal agreement that acknowledges your financial contribution and rights to the property. So I was just going to add you this one, guys. So if you want also, guys, that you really wanted to fight your rights, so it's best to everyone to consult it with the legal advisor or to the lawyer whenever you wanted to fight on your rights or whenever you wanted to jump into a building your partner a home or buying properties here in the Philippines, because it will going to help you to avoid an horror story regarding with buying properties in the Philippines. And of course, it happens also to some of the other people that already jump into the conclusion. What they do is they save their report that they invested funds to it, and they go to Rafi Tulfo in action. I know that Rafi Tulfo in action will help also to those people in need, like especially those foreigners that being scammed by their Filipinos. So, but it works if you don't have a problem of doing this to your Filipina. But usually, like those people who come to Rafi Tulfo is those people who got scammed or they got cheated from their Filipinas, so that they help them, and then you should just provide the receipt that it means that you funded your Filipinas. So by any chance, you can just get any portions to it. Yeah. But it's best to be careful and be wise as well of making decisions such as buying properties. It's very most important here in the Philippines when it comes to that. Okay? So thank you so much everyone for watching on this video, and I hope you guys find well and then find this video interesting and a lesson also. Thank you and God bless us all. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Bye bye all.